Fox News let the mask slip a little bit. Laura Ingraham had on this guy from, I think, the show Bar Rescue or something like that. And look at the hatred and the disdain they have for regular working people.
What if we just cut off the unemployment? I mean, hunger is a pretty powerful thing. I don't mean physical hunger, because people who truly are in need help. I'm talking about people who can work but refuse to work. But the government is literally putting anvils in many ways on people's shoulders, either through the mandates, regulations, and now through free money, which obviously we're all the piper eventually has to be paid. John, I want to ask you though about this idea of work-life balance, because look, no one wants to miss their kids growing up. No one wants to, you stay in the office your whole life, you never see your family. So that's really important. However, have we taken that a step too far when you think of, well, a lot of the millennials talking about, I need time for self-care. I don't know why I'm harping on that tonight, but the whole self-care movement is a little, I mean, my mother is not with us anymore, but she worked by the time she was 12 during the Depression. If she heard the self-care thing, I think her head would explode.
I think that's right.
Old
I have
school.
a friend in the military who trains military dogs, Laura, and they only feed a military dog at night because a hungry dog is an obedient dog. Well, if we're not causing people to be hungry to work, then we're providing them with all the meals they need sitting at home. I'm completely with you, Laura. These benefits make absolutely no sense.
Wow. Comparing the American people to military dogs who they only feed at night because a hungry dog is an obedient dog. They're letting you know they want you, your whole purpose, your whole existence on this earth. You need to be an obedient dog. You need to be a mindless drone worker who just does what you're told. That's what they think of you. Listen, I actually think this is one of the more honest moments on Fox News, because I remember when I first got into politics growing up, looking at the dialogue and the discourse, yes, you did get the sense this was the entire conservative Republican position. Every elected conservative Republican, to one extent or another, thinks of working people like this, thinks of Americans like this, thinks of the middle class like this, thinks of the poor and the homeless like this. They view you as less than them. They view you as a peasant. They view you as below the, elite owner class. That's how they look at you. Be an obedient dog. Be an obedient worker. Shut up and do what you're told. And, I mean, listen, all I can say is I could not disagree any more than I already do with their horrendous philosophy. Couldn't disagree more with it. Because even when those stories were coming out saying that, hey, unemployment ticked up a little bit when we got like the stimulus checks and we got the extra unemployment benefits and the child tax credit and stuff, I looked at those stories and I thought, well, that means people finally have a little bit of cushion to determine what they really want to do with their lives. And so, yeah, the unemployment rate ticked up a little bit because a lot of the people were like, I don't really like my job and I want to find a new job. I want to find something I actually care about. And so they finally had a little bit of cushion to go down that path. Conservatives looked at that and were like, that's bad. We should force these people back into their shitty jobs that they don't like. I looked at that and said, great, now they have a little bit of cushion. Remember the UBI study from Stockton, California? What did we find? There was a guy who was working a job that he hated. When he got to $500 a month, he finally had a little bit of a cushion to take a couple days off to look for a new job, found a new job. He loves the new job. This is what I want. I want people to find meaning and purpose in life. I don't just want you to, go do something that you don't like, you don't enjoy, make yourself miserable and depressed and anxiety-ridden. Why would I want that? But again, they look at this and say, we don't even want you to have a cushion to determine what you want to do. We just want to force you into the workforce. And we want you to be hungry. Quite literally. I mean, what's her face said that early on, Laura Ingraham. Cut off the unemployment. Hunger is a powerful thing. Then she tries to soften it and says, I don't mean like hunger. I mean like, you know what I'm saying. No, I don't know what you're saying. What you're saying is you would prefer people be hungry so you could force them to do stuff. So, it's like earn your dollar. Well, again, if minimum wage jobs don't pay a living wage, it's not the fault of the individual person. It's not a moral failing on their part. It's not a character flaw. It's not that they don't have discipline or they're not driven. It's that the whole system sucks where the job where you work full-time doesn't pay you enough to survive. But they have nothing to say about that because they would prefer you be in a situation like that. If you're providing people with all the meals they need, that's gross. I mean, that's what that guy's saying. He's like, why would you provide people with all the meals they need? Because they're human beings and they deserve it, and it's the right thing to do, and it's the moral thing to do, and it's the ethical thing to do, and you shouldn't have to struggle in the world's richest country or one of the world's richest countries. I have a friend of mine in the military. They only feed those dogs at night. So that's how we should treat American workers. Make them obedient dogs, obedient workers. I have a lot more hope for people than to just be mindless drones pushing numbers around on a computer screen or standing in some assembly line, shutting their brain off. No, I want you to be happy with what you do. I want you to feel productive. I want you to have meaningful, purposeful existence because that brings about happiness. Humans flourish when they feel like they have meaning and purpose in their lives. They couldn't care about the lower classes or the middle class finding meaning or purpose. They just want order in society, and that means you shut up and do what you're told and just really provide for these more upper-class folks, because that's how they view you. It's the most elitist position you could ever imagine, and don't ever let them try to get away with that fake populist bullshit where they pretend like they're for regular people, because look at what they said here. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.